Hello. Welcome to the show. Are y'all ready?
Hey.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about dealing with bullies. And if you haven't noticed, I have on my anti-bully helmets. I want to make sure that I don't get bullied because if I have on my safety helmet, they can't get me.
Oh my God.
Y'all ready?
After I finished laughing. Ooh, all right.
Don't be laughing at my anti-bully helmet.
Okay, I'm good. Ooh.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about bullying and pretty much what is an actual bully? What's a bully?
A person who likes to deflect their bad choices upon other people. That's what a bully is. Uh, uh, and they tend to lose the definition of what life is during the process just because nobody responds to your bad behavior. It doesn't mean they're A, afraid of you, or B, don't want to say anything to you. You're just not worth their time. But instead of taking it like that, you tend to try to escalate to get a rise out of somebody. But then you get said rise, now you want to be a victim. That's a bully. Somebody who either been bullied or went through something and feel like it's everybody else's fault, so I'm gonna take it out on you.
Okay. Tisha, what is the definition of a bully in your eyes?
Just to be clear, we're talking about adult bullies.
Right. We're talking about adult bullies. Right.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
there's
sorry.
different
Yes.
there's different stages and ages to bullying. So we're talking about the adult ones right now.
Okay.
Um, my definition of it deals with someone's lack of maturity, and I think a lot of bullies have a victim mentality, even
Mm-hmm.
though they act tough and hard. A lot of it is a deflection,
Yep.
and they're a false sense of reality that you can really try to convince or control another adult to do what you want them to do, despite that person's best efforts to de-escalate. Bullies love to escalate situations like throw the rock, hide the hand, and or threaten if they can't feel like they're if they don't feel like they're in control of the situation, and they like to issue threats. Um, but it's it manipulate situations. So to me, adult bullies are manipulators also.
Yes.
Mhm.
Outstanding.
So, like in 2025, how are we dealing with adult bullies? What's the best take? Because I know I've been accused of being a bully, um, and I really didn't understand how this person accused me of being a bully. Where if I am telling you the truth of who you are, how could someone could pretty much come into the process of me bullying them by telling them the truth? Or is that just Is that just a way of playing the victim?
Yes. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
deflection at its finest.
Mhm. So
You can,
it's them trying to prevent you from exposing them. And
mm-hmm.
so they turn it around and say that you're bullying them, but that's your perception. If that's your perception of that person, then I say change how you behave so that people can perceive you differently, right?
Right.
Um, but the question was, how do you de-escalate or deal with a bully in 2025? The biggest thing that I've ever learned is just truth.
Mm-hmm.
If you just stick to the truth, bullies will remove themselves from you because they know up front they cannot control or manipulate the situation with you if you're walking in truth. Now, if you get to playing their little games at any point in time, then you've put yourself at risk of being bullied.
Yep.
Um, and I would say the bullying starts off subtle with adults, and then it becomes verbal in some cases, and if you're not careful, you could end up in a physical altercation with someone. And I think the biggest thing is, if you notice with bullies, they never accept accountability or responsibility for their behavior.
Right.
There's always an excuse.
There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse.
Yeah.
So if we like, where I mean, like I would say this: where are people being bullied the most? Adults, where are they being bullied the most? To me, I
Work,
see it more and more on social media.
Social media.
social media. I say even at work.
Yeah, I definitely see that work because if a person like sees that you have like a weakness in a degree, or if they see they can get away with it, they will try you, and they
Mhm.
until you show them differently. And most of the time, when you stand up against a bully, that's where they'll buckle down. Sometimes you like they're pretending to be something that they're really not.
Right. Right.
The what we call it, temperature checking. They when you new to the office, that's the first thing they do. You can tell those are the ones they will try to feel you out. Once they realize that Tisha is not the one, or Eric is not the one, or Mario not the one, okay, so the direct approach didn't work. Let me go in the background. Let me try to get people to go against them, or let me try to press this button from a distance to see where it goes. And like Tisha said before, you have to stand on truth. And once
Mhm.
you stand on truth, bully be gone. They have no other leg to stand on. They move on to the next person.
And you know what, Nikki
Nick,
Marie,
she just
she
made a
just put
good
some.
point. Hmm.
She just put here. She says, I think in your case, it's because of the things you post. You post people's face, names, numbers, the fake protesters, etc. That can be as a bullying behavior. Um,
No.
no, I don't think that's telling the truth. There's a big difference where you like if I was picking on them and there was no truth for what I was saying,
Hmm.
then yeah, I would say yeah, I would agree with you. But if I'm pointing out there's a truth on their what they're doing, then I don't think that's a bullying. I'm just pointing out the truth.
It's
Hmm.
not. The problem is the truth has gotten bent. When this whole time it's only what it is, the truth. And
Right,
if a person is not used to the truth, they will call you what they're actually being to try to justify their wrongdoing. It's not bullying when you post the truth.
right. It's like holding people accountable is not. To me, that's the. I think that's what it is nowadays. Is that people are not are have become extremely soft in a sense
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like they're not soft. I'm gonna say sensitive.
Yeah.
Because like when someone does something and someone holds them accountable, that's not bullying them. That's telling the truth.
Yes.
That's holding them accountable for what they're saying, what they're doing. If you go out here and you're protesting on something and you're saying false information during that protest, then guess what? That I'm holding you accountable for you telling the wrong information.
That's right.
So
So
it's
let's look at what an adult bully says that it means. An adult bully can regularly make the victim of their actions feeling oppressed, belittled, humiliated, or de-energized. Some of the behaviors that they engage in include invasion of other person's personal space, personal insults, or public shaming. So when she's saying about the public shaming on Facebook, you got to add the component of most of the times people that are bullying on social media, they're bullying based on lies. To me, what happened to you last week,
Absolutely.
what happened to y'all on the podcast last week was someone trying to be a bully,
right,
because the things that they were saying was not accurate or true. But then what happens is, because that's what people everybody's used to, then that person gets depicted as the victim while the other person who's speaking the truth looks like the bully. But
Mm-hmm.
in fact, you initiated the response based on your lies and or propaganda. A lot of times bullies have an agenda, a hidden agenda,
Yes.
and it can be to try to what do you call it, make someone that's speaking the truth seem like a liar,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a lot of times they want to silence the truth teller So they start spreading information that's not accurate or true,
Correct.
or they want to take away from your what do you call it, your integrity, or they want to want people to devalue who you are. That's a part of adult bullying too. And then they use triggering words or behavior to
Mm-hmm.
bring you out of character. Then when you defend yourself, all of a sudden now you're the bully,
Right. Right.
but you initiated it.
That's right.
Okay, nobody ever talks about the initiator. They
Mm-mm.
only talk about the person's reaction to your action, right? So I think that when we start saying that because someone's speaking a truth about something, you got to look at where it originated from. If I can fact check everything back to what I'm saying, I'm not bullying you. I'm
No,
holding you accountable.
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's the difference.
Absolutely.
And you can't the person that believes what a bully says is either the bully themselves or being bullied. They're the same ones who don't like the truth but tread on lies. Like Mario said, America's gotten sensitive, and part of that sensitivity is watering down the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of telling her, hey, why don't you go get coaching for this? You good, go ahead, go forward with it. Drive up. No, you gotta be truthful and honest. Say, hey, yes, but this. Do this. Yes, you can do this, but you need to do that first.
Right.
I don't want anybody in my circle that won't tell me the truth.
Right.
I want you to say, I don't think so, and this is why. Because see, then I could start thinking, I'm like, well, he wouldn't tell me or she wouldn't tell me something wrong. Let me go back and rethink that. My brother, you was right. My sister, this is what I'm gonna do now since you said that. Why would you not want somebody like that in your corner? I don't
Right.
need a yes person in my circle. That
Right.
no.
My thing is, my thing is this: I have no problem for someone stand up. I actually have more respect for someone who stands up and calls it for what it is. If I do something wrong, you call me out on it, I'm
Yes.
going to respect that. But when you call me out on something and you're making up the story,
Right.
that's the problem. That's where in society it's just like, for example, if I say you're violating my civil rights and I haven't done anything, how can you just like, so you're gonna hold someone accountable? It's just like if a curfew. Let's take what one of the issues that we have here is, does a curfew violate someone's civil rights?
No.
No.
Okay,
Not
but
if it's needed to keep the vast majority of the public safe, or is sometimes you got to protect people from themselves.
That's
right.
right.
So then if you got city council members out here running around saying whatever it is they want to say to get someone to agree with their opinion, and you call them out on it, then what is that? What is that like? Say that, and I think that's the problem, is that in politics, and this is the thing that people need to understand. Politics is probably the biggest pulpit for being bullies. We see more bullying dealing with politics than we do anything else. When someone is trying to get you to see it your way, their way, and
Only.
they go to the extreme, they lie about it, they make up stuff, and you call them out on it, that's not bullying.
Uh-uh.
That's getting to the truth of what it is.
And
And,
you
and
said
that's
something key, their way and only their way though.
right.
Right.
It's like, so I'm not, my thing is what I'm looking at in this show is to get people to see it from all angles and to get an understanding. When you come in and you're trying to force somebody to see it your way, there's a difference to where I'm like, in this, on what we do here is we're talking. It's like the show is called Let's Talk. We're not trying to force somebody to see it our way.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And I think that's the issue. So it's like when we have individuals, and I'm sorry, Lee, I'll say, hey Lee, I just saw your post. I'm sorry, your comment. People need to find out the facts first before opening their mouths. It's not cool to assume things before knowing the truth. And facts, period. I agree 100%.
100%.
And then she also says politicians are bullies, period. And
Mhm.
we see it. And the thing is sad is that we see it in our politics all the time. I mean, like now, I mean, we see it more than ever now than we ever have.
Yes.
So when we sit back and we see these things, it's just like, again, what happened last week. I mean, I had no problem with the comments that she was making until she tried to dictate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like her response is, "You're going to dictate what I should do with my time."
And your
That's
money.
in my money.
And your
So
money.
it's like, so that's like, again, that's going back to where you're trying to force me to do things your way. That's being a bully.
That's not how it works. And
That's not how it works. But that's one of the things that I try to get people to understand, that it's okay to disagree with people. It's
yes.
okay to speak the truth. It's okay, but when you flat out tell something that's not true, and someone holds you accountable for what you just said or did, that is holding people accountable. That's not bullying them.
No. The bullying is accusing that person who is telling the truth of being some other than honest. That's what bullying is.
Right.
So you can't go through life thinking that it's your way or the highway. Okay, if I like Taco Tuesday, Tisha can say I like steak on Tuesday. We should not stop being friends because it should be tacos or steak. Well, you know what? Why don't I add steak on my tacos? You know what I'm saying? That's the way it's supposed to work among good thinking, friendly people. Oh, we just lost Tisha.
Yeah, I think she hit something by mistake. She probably jumped back on.
Yeah, that's what adults are supposed to do. Adults who know what they're doing. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Talk about it. Either agree, disagree, or agree to disagree, and we still high five and eat dinner afterward. But you got those certain people, the bullies. It has to be my way. Well, I'm going to throw a temper tantrum.
Right.
You call them
Or
out.
the below the belt comments,
Yes.
or the below the belt body, just different things. Like they start cracking jokes or saying things that they say are jokes that they really mean, but it's really not a joke. And
Because
that's
they're
the next thing. How you asked about how do you diffuse a bully in 2025? I don't mix words with people. I
no.
don't play fight. I don't play joke, because there's a lot of message with people in the words that they say to you.
Yes.
And I've noticed with bullies, they love to say stuff, and once they see
Right.
you're offended, girl, I was just playing with you. No, you weren't.
Mm-mm.
You
Right.
were not playing. You were dead
It's a
serious.
It's a
Right.
tactic to
It's
see
a
how
tactic to
far
it.
they can get away with.
Right.
Well,
How far they can go with
How far
you.
they can go.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
only
And,
the
and
word.
then and then if you catch them on the wrong day and play back, then all of a sudden you such a it's like I said, any little thing to try to take away from a truthful person's character, because they're not able to face the mirror and be honest with themselves. So I just, for me, it's the below the belt comments too. I don't play the little games with you. We not pillow fighting. We not playing.
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
Cause soon as I get mad, I'm mad for real, and then you claim you playing, and then I'm gonna be upset. Look,
See, I hold people to their words. And see, that's
Mhm.
one thing. Anybody that knows me know that. So if you got a little hee hee ha ha moment, guess what? I'm gonna have a hee hee ha ha moment right back at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna see that what's she saying?
She said you're just doing what your gift is expressing, how you feel about your community. If you cannot have a conversation with an adult and respect the fact that you may not disagree, that's real. If you're ignorant to know how to communicate, then you need to, what does it say?
stay out the conversation. Period. We're
Yeah,
all adults here. It's okay to agree to disagree, but not bully or lie on someone without
exactly.
the facts. Hmm.
Right.
That's why I hold people to what they say. I
Right.
hold
Absolutely.
what you say. If you don't want me to hold you to it, do not say it.
And
I'm
and
I
not.
say what you say and what you do.
I'm
right.
not
Because
gonna say something that I know
yeah,
triggers you and Mario because I don't want y'all to say nothing to trigger me. So I'm not gonna say it. So when you got your little jokey joke on the side, I'm gonna have my little response on the side.
Right.
right, right.
You're gonna learn real quick. You're gonna learn. Oh, he ain't gonna mess with him.
And the thing
I
is,
never agree with Michelle Obama all the time when she said, "When they go low, we go high." I can't
yeah,
say
yeah.
that. Look,
I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that one.
I
I was like,
be
yeah, look,
trying.
it
Look,
sounds good. Look, it sounds good, but
I be trying.
it
But in
sounds good in
theory, I gotta
theory,
meet
but
you where you at, so
Right.
you know not to go there no more,
right.
right?
You have to
Because I don't
stop when
want you
you
to catch
start.
me on the wrong day.
Yeah.
Look,
And that's where you have to stand. That's what my thing is that when you have a bully, you have to stand your ground. You
Yeah.
can't let someone come in and just completely try to take over what belongs to you. It's
No.
like you gonna come in my house and you gonna kick me out my own house.
No,
I
bro.
can't.
Oh,
I can't use a remote control to turn TV. Well, I mean, like you can't let someone come in and control what belongs to you.
no. Mm-mm.
You can't come in and let someone dictate what they feel. It's just like I'm not going to come in here and I'm not going to tell somebody they can't go protest, right? I mean, that's your right. You go do that.
right.
But if I think it's a fake protest because the information that you're putting out is not
You get
true,
to say that. That's your opinion.
that's my opinion. So it's just like so it's and that thing and I think that's what bothers people is that I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak my opinion, but I'm not going to go on somebody's show and try to take over their show.
No. See,
If I disagree with what they're saying, I'm going to try to understand it and I'm going to say why I disagree with it. I'm not going to come in and I'm going to force you to understand my opinions. And I think that's what it is that nowadays, and when we're dealing with politics, it's just like the whole scenario of the Trump. I mean, we people who supported Trump were bullying other people because they did not want to go along with what Trump was saying and doing.
yeah.
That's just an example. I'm not my lazy. I'm just using an example because when you try to force somebody to see something that's not truthful, that's where we have a problem. And I think that's where our society, our country went wrong. Is you have people trying to say this is the truth, but it wasn't the truth.
But it was
And people,
okay, and so I'm real particular about that as well because perception becomes someone else's reality. So I can't even tell them that that's not their truth.
right, exactly, right.
And all of us, and I say this all the time, all of us have a different American experience. Okay, so women and men is different, etc., etc. But I think what happens is we get lost in proving our point
Mm-hmm.
that
Right,
we don't
right,
respect someone else's point. I do not have to, it does not mean that I don't like you if I disagree with you.
No.
That doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that I don't respect you. I think
right,
Eric said it earlier. People who, are willing to tell you a truth or correct you or hold you accountable, those are the people you want around you. I
right.
don't want people around me that say what they have to say in the moment to me, then go over here and say that turns into a form of bullying too, because what ends up happening is that person stirs the pot and causes so much confusion that you end up having unnecessary conflict.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that to me is wrapped up in adult. We used to call it what, gossiping, or everybody tries to say it's drama.
Right.
No, it's a little bit deeper than drama. If I'm doing anything with a malicious intent, then it's a form of bullying because I'm intentionally trying
Yeah.
to do something to cause hurt, harm, or danger, because it can result in that in the long run.
The
Right.
truth has been lost in translation. You see it every day. And when you stand on your truth, get ready for a fight because people are going to call you the odd man out. They're going to treat you like an alien. You might even question yourself sometimes. And that's what the problem is because I don't disagree with somebody just for the sake of disagreement. If I don't agree with, like I said earlier, you eating steak on Tuesday instead of I'm gonna come with facts and explain to you why this is the way I am, which is the way we all are toward each other. And if everybody did that, then the world would be problem free. But instead, we're not. So you expect everybody to be like you and answer like you, and it's not. I hold people to what they say because what they say usually defines what they do. So I hold you to that. Don't say something if you don't want to be held to it. So
And
again, if you say something under your breath, I'm gonna respond under my breath, and we gonna meet in the middle. You gonna see I'm not the one. So go on and take that mess somewhere else. Because the best way to tell it is like Tisha said it first. Girl, I'm just playing. Dog, you know I'm tripping.
Look, and I was about to do something, but I said I can't do it now because I laughed.
Well,
See what
I said this too. The other thing that is a big deal that a lot of us tend to overlook too is we're the villain in somebody's story.
Every time.
So you're not always the victim either. And I had to step back and say, am I a bully sometimes? Like I've had to check myself in some situations because I can get a little bit indignant. You know what I mean? Like we all can, right?
Yeah.
But then I always check myself, and if when I do my little check, if I feel like I need to go back and correct something, I will, because I think sometimes your response can be in the heat of the moment and it can be perceived differently than what you intended
Right.
for it to come off as, right? But
That happens.
I
That
can say,
happens a lot. But yeah, you're right. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I can say when I was younger, I do
Yeah.
think I was somewhat of a bully. I do when I was younger because I had no what do you call it? But I didn't never start nothing. I just finished it.
Right. Exactly. That part.
But I would go to an extreme finishing sometimes.
Right. Because what you're doing is you're trying to make sure it never happens again.
Right.
You have sometimes you have to prove. You have to you like what we say. You f around and
Live
find
around and
out.
find out. Look.
And sometimes we need to make sure they understand. But one of
Right.
the things, and see, and also one of the things that's wrong with our society today, just because this person or this individual that's is the bully because they have problems in their life or because they have problems, we seem to like, well, you know what, we understand this person because this person has gone through this, they've gone through that, so
Make
we're
up
not going to.
excuses.
Not,
Right. We're not going to hold them accountable the way we should because and that's why I call it. That's when you have the V. What is it? The F. What I call it? The VMV. The V Victor and V, where you're the
Oh,
victim and the villain in your own story.
yep.
And
Yep.
that is the problem that we have is that if you have somebody, I get it. We've all been through stuff. We've all what we've gone through in our lives has turned us into the person that we are. But it's still you have to hold a person accountable.
Mhm.
If just because you went through some stuff in your life, and I come up here and I cold smack the crap out of you, oh, don't do nothing because they went through stuff in their life.
no.
No, that's what's wrong with
Oh,
our society is regardless of what they've been through in their life, we got to hold them accountable.
There is still right.
And I get it now. I mean, because I'm telling you, once I found out the details and I started to see, okay, now I understand why they're trying to protect her, why they're trying to diffuse it, because because of her background, you want to kind of like you know what, Mario, you're picking on her because
No,
you should know better.
no.
no.
But no, but I'm just saying that is what, because I'm my best. I don't know this person. I don't know nothing about you. And most of the time when you step up and you step off wrong, but sometimes that person doesn't know anything about you. So
Mhm.
to me, I don't care about your background. I don't care about your history. I care about what you're doing here and now. And if
Mhm.
you're wrong, you're wrong. And I think that's where we're messing up in our society
Mhm.
is we're trying to. Everybody has to be a winner. Everybody has to be treated
Yeah.
fairly. We got to get like that. That is where we messed up at.
And think about it. The word is background. Okay, your background behind you.
Hey, Ann, Miss McQueen. Hey.
It's not. See, what we try to do is we get words mixed up. See, you try to make the background the forefront. No, the forefront is where you are now. The background is what you went through, the past.
Right.
So you can't use that. You can't use that. You have to let them talk, get their point across, and then you let them know with facts. Yes, I've been through things, Tisha been through things, Mario been through things, but is that a reason for us to still continue to do what we doing?
No.
No, it's not. There's still right and wrong. In other words, there is still accountability and responsibility. Okay. So what, you were taught to punch people in the face. You can't use it now as an adult. Punch people in the face is wrong.
Right. but you know what, but that's one of the things that I've noticed when dealing with people is when they go on the attack and you stand your ground, what they're going to do is they're going to retreat, and then they're going to start talking about their past, why
Yeah.
they did what
Hmm.
they did.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
it's like, what does your past got to do with what your actions are
Yeah.
today?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I've noticed that people, when you stand your ground against a bully, they try to use their past. Well, I didn't have a good life. I didn't do this. I didn't. No, what does that got to do with what you're doing now?
What you gotta do now? And with the history of people doing on social media, you are filming yourself either being a bully or doing wrong, and you don't understand the backlash that you. I don't understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here I am. I'm ready to go punch some people in the face. Why am I in jail? How did they catch me? You posted it. What are you doing? You posted yourself punching somebody in the face, and you don't want to. You wonder why? Well, I had a hard life. What? Your hard life didn't cause you to pick up a phone, film yourself punching somebody. That's just not how it works.
Right.
There's
And
right.
your background should make you better, not bitter.
Thank you.
Like, I mean, we could all sit up here and have a sob story about something,
Right.
but I'm noticing that people, and then here's the new one that's coming out. Oh, I'm trying to become a more outspoken person and defend myself. No, 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 no. Because you still don't get to do that however you want to do it either. And then
No.
understand, when you come to the truthful side of your life, you got to be transparent, and
Right.
you got to be willing to stand 10 toes down
Right.
in your truth.
Right.
So your truth cannot be directed by, like, you can't be like you in a movie where other people's directing your truth. What
And,
has
and
been your experience with this person or persons? Why are you feeling a need to attack someone? Be careful about how you receive someone who's telling you the truth and somebody who's feeding you lies.
right.
That has been the biggest issue that I've seen, where the bullying starts. When that bully can't get to you, then they'll recruit four, five,
Other
six
people.
other
Mhm.
people to try to come at you. And they always prey on the people who they think are weaker than them.
Right.
And if you sit up there, it's like a puppet and a puppet master. They're just pulling that person's strings. And I promise you, these people be really believing that they are justified in this behavior.
And it's so crazy is that situation is exactly like what you just described, exactly what happened, because then like you go back, and this is the thing that's funny, is when you go back and you tell your story in a public lighting, in a public censor, where people can see that you're not telling the truth. It's like that right there should let you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw that, when I saw how what actually happened and how that they tried to present it as though they were the victim in the situation, it spoke volumes that, and then everybody was calling her out. No, where are you getting your information from? Like,
Mhm.
because you're making up stuff because now you want to assassinate someone's character because you
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now you guys like, so now you got to go after someone's credibility because now, because you couldn't get away with what you want, now I gotta discredit you. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
find a way to make sure people understand when you speak again that you're discredit, that this is what you did, this was said. But because like I sat back and I listened, and I like, really? You're gonna do this in public to where people can actually see that you're not telling the truth?
I
You
mean,
really
did a whole recording.
a
But the
whole
next
recording?
thing that I realized too, you guys, and it hit me a couple of years ago, was people judge you by what they would do if they were you, or
Yeah.
what they
Right.
have done
Right,
in similar
Right.
situations. So a lot of it has nothing to do with you personally, how
No.
you've handled it.
right,
It's what
right.
they would do or how they have done things. And it's a pattern with bullies.
Mhm.
If you just sit back and you watch them, they're constantly switching friends. They're constantly switching friend circles. It's always something. Just listen to those kind of people. It's always, oh, this, that, and that happened to me. They always have an excuse.
Right.
Sometimes you were just dead doggone wrong. I
And
mean,
then, see, my thing is admit it. That's what that's it. That's where as an adult, if you do something wrong, stand up and admit it. But when you go out and you publicize your lie and you call out stuff to where a person can go back and look at the video, what is she talking about? None of this stuff happened. That's what's like, you there's proof there to show that you're not telling the truth. That's when you know there's something really wrong. Because I'm sitting here like, well, yeah, your mama probably didn't hug you. What does that got to do with what I'm doing today? That was the thing, is that so
these people with these mama statements need to be very careful.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, because when I hear that, well, you probably didn't get enough attention, you didn't get enough hugs growing up. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what does that got to do with me today? I mean, that's well, maybe if this organization was in your life, you would do a better person. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I don't even know these organizations, but yet, okay, whatever. But at the same time, look at where I'm at. That's the thing, is that I can see if I was out here in the streets robbing people. I can see out in the streets I was robbing banks, I was doing drugs, but I am a successful businessman who has done everything in the world. So it's like, what kind of truth are you telling when you don't even know? I don't even know her. Didn't know nothing about her. But she came after me because she got put in her place. She couldn't come in and take over. We shut her down. So she had to play. She was the villain. And then because she couldn't win as a villain, which most bullies do, they come in as a villain. And when they lose, they want to play the victim.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that too, because the other component that was missing was she tried to take your testimony, your truth that you've been completely transparent about, and use it against you.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. You've been very clear about what your upbringing was. So how heartless of you to try to bring your mom into the situation, knowing what your upbringing was, or probably having some inkling of a knowledge. But even if she didn't know, everybody knows that that's hitting below the belt. Like, right. Anytime you get with that's why I never did the yo mama jokes as a kid. Don't, because if you say the wrong thing about my mama, then I'm gonna call your mama a bald headed, something or another, and then we gonna be fighting. So I didn't do those jokes either, because I know for me, my mouth is ridiculously slick. So then I'm in a fight for no reason.
But that's when you have gotten under their skin, because when they go below the belt, you've hurt them. In some kind of way, you got them, you hurt them. And they want you to feel pain now. They want you to feel that pain that they're feeling. And I think when I saw that in the video, I was like, I said, I need to go see who this person is, because she must have been through some serious stuff in her life for her to be that determined to hurt, to kind of try to hurt me in a sense, well, boo-hoo, get me where I want to wah. No. You can't. That's one of the things I said back, and I noticed that maybe she's going through some stuff. Maybe she went, because I didn't know anything about her. But when I went back and I did my research on her, I understood.
He said why. I did my research on her.
Yeah, because my thing is that I don't understand when someone acts out like that. There's got to be a reason.
Right. Yeah,
there's got to be something. And see, to me, it's like I don't know her, anything like that. But like I said, I had no problems. And then just like that, she just flipped the script and went haywire. And I said, okay, there's something wrong. There's something going on that I'm not understanding. There's something going on that maybe I need to take a look at this and get a better understanding. Why would someone lash out at that? And then after I went back and I looked and I saw what I saw, I could, it's like if I really wanted to be a real Scorpio and go after her, I could have, but I said no.
You put the Scorpio in it.
Yeah, I mean, because when Scorpios, we don't get mad, we get even. But I'm just saying, I'm not. That's just one of those things that I wasn't going to do, because one of the things that she says I don't have is empathy. It's like, okay, I sat back and I saw her situation. I saw what she had been through in life, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to take it anymore, because I get it now. I understand. Why she acted out the way she did. So then that's when you just have to cut it off and walk away from it, because when you see someone has gone through and dealt with things in their lives, they're still dealing with it. They're still struggling with it.
Yeah,
So you just have to take a step away from it.
yeah,
A bully would take it and use it. A
yeah.
bully would go in and try to destroy them. But that's why I say it's like it comes a point in time you got to take a step back and say, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna walk away from it.
Oh,
You
Mario, can
know,
you, is that real quick? Can you, one of, I have someone who wants to comment, and it says that the comments are limited as to who can comment on the post. Well, how do we get someone who wants to make comments to be able or allowed to comment really quick?
I don't have anything blocked.
no.
Yeah, there's no block. There's nothing
Uh,
blocked.
yeah, she just sent me the screenshot that it showed her. So does she need to go to your page to comment?
No,
Because
it's not. Yeah,
I'm
there's no
streaming
block.
it on my page.
There's no blocks or anything. I don't have anybody. It is. I guess if I have them blocked on my page, they
Uh-huh.
can't access my platform.
No. She's looking on my page, so she needs to search your name and go to your name and look at the live stream under your name on your page, right?
No, if you have it shared on your
Mhm.
page, you should be able to make a comment.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she should be able to make a comment. If she can't, if she goes to my page, she should be able to make a comment. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the first time I heard that one.
he can hear you. I'm gonna share it with you in the group chat so you can see it, because that may be something we need to look at, and that could
Okay,
be something that's happening that we were unaware of.
go
Um,
ahead.
hmm But yeah, the other thing, you guys, something I had to understand too, there's strength and courage. And so a lot of people who are not courageous are, it is an envy of you being able to speak your truth, because see, they lie so much that when someone is so truthful, they feel like, well, if I can expose this person and send out misinformation, and other people will start to comment. Because if you notice, people who bully and who are liars and stuff like that, if you expose them publicly, normally a lot of people jump on the bandwagon. I noticed that about that person too.
Right,
Yeah, da 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 da. So I think sometimes the misinformation is deliberate just as much as the intent to bully you to make you feel some type of way. Is to try to see too, if I throw this out here about this person, is the truth gonna come out about them? Like you said, you researched her and then you found out all this stuff.
right.
That's the same thing. She probably had checked on you too and couldn't find anything, but figured if she tried to try you in the court of public opinion, something would come up.
Right.
And that's normally how it works with people who are not transparent and truthful. That is normally how it comes up. But imagine to her surprise that there was nothing to find. And not only that, you came on the next day and did a whole tutorial about how to
I mean,
support your community from your own business. So it's like, come on, there's nothing to hide here. Look.
and that's what I'm saying. Is like it's like in everything, and I think that's one of the things that since I've been doing this, I know I have to be transparent. I know I have to put out all the information that I'm doing, because if I want to gain someone's trust, I can't not come on here and just tell people what they want to hear. I can't make up stuff. I can't do, and that's one of the things that we have wrong with a lot of people, especially politicians, is there's a certain thing they want. There's certain responses they want to get. If they can't get their way, they're going to add extra stuff to it. It's just like, okay, like the name of our actual curfew is the Youth Protection Ordinance, or Safety Protection Ordinance. When you want someone, it's the criminalization. What does he call it? The criminalization curfew. So when you throw words in there that are not true, you're
Mm.
trying to get people to take your side.
Yeah.
So to me, I've sat back and I've seen this with a lot of people to where they can't speak the truth, so they make up their own truth. They want people to side with them, so they say what they think. And then when they get caught red-handed, they still
Still,
don't want to do the right thing. And I think that's the problem. That's the problem we have with our politicians. So when she did what she did, and then when people had to go back and tell, and the thing is that your aha moment was the biggest lie ever. So when someone go back and they have to tell you, hey, well, okay, well, Yeah, the committee, and then you still didn't get it right. So
Mm-mm.
it's kind of like one of those things to where people that do bullying, they will go to the extreme to prove their case. They will go to the extreme to get people to believe that either they are the victim in their own story when they were the villain at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And that's where bullying starts. They are the villain. The bully is always the villain.
Mm-hmm.
When the bully gets put like, and we see it in the movies, we see it. It's like when a bully gets put in their face, I mean, put in their place. What happens most of the time?
They
Then
been,
all of a sudden, now they're the most
yeah.
kindest person in the world. Now they're just like they start crying, they start boo-hooing.
Hey,
So when you
don't.
put a bully in their place, then that's when they see the error of their problems. That's why most of us will stand up against a bully. We're not going to let someone come in and
Mm-mm.
take over what belongs to us.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. But because of the background, well, you know what? Maybe we should just let her do this. Yeah, this is her background. This is what
Absolutely not.
And I think that's where we mess up at is that
Mhm.
we don't hold. My thing is this: I'm equal opportunity.
Right.
I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're a man. If you step up and you do something wrong, I'm going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
At that point in time, I don't care about your background. You could have been in prison. You could have been everything. You could tell me the boohoo story. But
Yeah.
when you do something wrong, it's just like when you go to court and someone kills somebody. What's the first thing they do? Is they want to go through and they're going to talk about their background.
Mhm.
This has happened. This happened. But your background can't justify you
No, it
doing
doesn't.
something wrong.
No, it doesn't. It absolutely not. I don't believe in that. Well, he okay. Well, he did. She did. But what about now? What are they doing now? What does that have to do with them at this current time? There's right and then there's wrong. Everybody in this life, if you are living, you take L. We've all taken L before. There's an L in life and there's an L in losing. It's a part of life. Don't think that you're never going to lose. It's going to happen. It's how you respond. It's how you get back up. That's how it goes. So if you want to come on a person's page and say some stuff, or you want to make videos that are untrue, you get what you get. You deserve it. But you need to
Or get
understand.
in somebody's face, period,
Yeah.
and say things. You're gonna get what you. I don't understand how you think you can control another adult's response to your disrespect. And
No.
it doesn't matter whether you felt it was disrespectful or not. If that person is telling you is disrespectful, that's it. That's all. Like
That's
you
it.
don't get to tell me why do you feel disrespected? What do you mean? Why do I feel? I don't have to explain to you why I feel disrespected. I'm telling you, you disrespected me. And
So
more than likely, you intended to disrespect me. The difference is you just didn't think I was going to say anything about it.
That's right.
right. And see, that's the thing is that you thought that you could go back and play, you could be the villain,
And then play the
then
victim.
fall back and pretend to be the victim. And that's where that and see to me, that's the kind of behavior that we see in our society a lot now. Because even like when we're dealing with people in general, we're trying to help them. They get frustrated, they get mad, they go off the hinge, and they just rah 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 rah. Okay, you just did this to the wrong person because this person has to help you. Well, I've been through some things in my
Yeah.
life, and I just don't like you. Look, it's too late. Your actions, you've already did what was wrong. And I think that's where when you can't control your own emotions, you can't control how you lash out. And that's the thing I never understood is how someone can lash out at the person in front of them that is supposed to be providing them with service and help, and then you expect them to be okay with it.
Right.
Because
That's the type of behavior that we're dealing with in 2025 is I get it. I understand. So like sometimes people don't understand who you are. Like let's say I didn't know anything about this person, but the moment I went back and I did my research and I saw who she was as a person, I said, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna let this go because it's like here it is. And the thing is that The thing about Scorpio, it's hard for us to do that. God knows it's extremely hard for us to do that. But when you sit back and you see how people are responding to her, oh no, where'd you get your information from? What are you talking about? He shows no empathy towards people. He sits back and he beats on his keyboard. His keyboard is gonna hate see him coming because he's gonna beat on the keyboard. Like those are the type of things to where now you're over exaggerating. You're going extreme. So it's like so that lets me know that I really got to you. I really bothered. And I think that's the issue with bullies. When you put a bully in their place and they are embarrassed. Now there's a whole different scenario when you embarrass a bully.
Mm-hmm.
When you embarrass a bully, now they got to go to the extreme to be the victim.
Something wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see everything wrong with him. No,
because now they see a bully's biggest fear is exposure. Right. So think about it. The kids who were bullies as children, they were lacking something. It's the same behavior as an adult. An adult who's a bully is lacking something, whether it be self-esteem, whether it be things in their life. It's personality. If a person's lacking personality, sometimes they become a bully because their sarcasm puts them in a place where they're constantly offending other people, right? So there's our voiceless other co-host. I better not pick on you because every time I do, then I end up with laryngitis. So I'm gonna shut up. Look, love you. Look. But yeah, it's just interesting how it's flipped. I think the biggest lesson that we all can take away from anything when you're dealing with a bully is to identify as what it is. I tell you in a minute, you're not gonna be bullying me.
Yep.
And I think, like I said, when you present yourself in such a way that you're not even approachable with that garbage, they don't even send for you anymore. Because I tell them, if you send for me, I'm gonna cash in on you every time. I mean,
like I said before, when they say that joke and you say that joke back, you will see them go a whole different other side of the room. They ain't got nothing else to say to you. You don't have nothing else to worry about him. What's wrong with him? He got that, but you know, I'm not the one. I don't care about your background.
Yeah, because I kind of have dark humor, anyways. So, like, my humor is not always necessarily like humor, and so I don't even go there with people because it's like, ooh, I don't even want to hurt you, like that. So I'm not gonna say anything.
You don't meet somebody with a joke. That ain't what you do. So you meet me with a joke, I'm gonna respond to you with a joke.
Right.
It's even bigger and it's gonna hurt. And you leave me alone. No, I'm not the one. The little undertone, the little sarcastic undertone, I got that too.
Yeah.
I got that too. I'm gonna let you know I'm not the 1, the 2, the 3. No, I'm none of that. No.
Not the 1, the 2, not the 1, the 2, and the 3 now. Look.
Oh, I stand by this. I hold people to what they say. Because what they say is a reflection on what they do. Because if they lie to you, they're going to take a step to continue lying. So whatever you say, I hold you to that. I don't care. No, you said this. This is what you said. This is what you said. No. See what? Did you or did you not say it? Yeah, but what? That's it. Hold them accountable.
And we got some more comments coming through. Okay. Go ahead, Mario. You want to read it? You got on your Dark Vaders. You want me to read it?
Actually, look, as maybe I can pull it up, but I'm gonna pull it up, but I was gonna cut it off. As John Robinson says, this is America, freedom of speech. Who are we to say that someone says X, Y, and X? As it's up to us and how we respond to them that matters. Right versus wrong. Who determines who or what is right or wrong? I've complained about so and so said this about me, so and so was wrong or hurt. And John would say, well, they said it. Now that are you going to do about it? Don't worry about them. Their biggest thing to worry about, etc. We can't control how people perceive us, or I think it cuts off. Okay, here we go. or perceives us, or what they say to us, or how they treat us, but we can't control how we respond. Then we can be responsible for what we said and how we act.
Yeah, how
Um,
we say, what we say, and how we react. So I know this is gonna be like a y'all about to fall out about this analogy that came to my mind as we were thinking about this, and I said, you don't go around, and this is just true. You don't go around showing everybody your body naked, right? So why
what?
do you go around showing your ass all the time, though? I mean, it just you don't. You don't walk around flashing everybody. Oh, this just, let me show you all my goodies. So why you want to go around showing your ass all the time though, with your attitude and your bad ways? So
Yeah.
you get what you get.
Yeah.
If you was running around naked all the time, what would you think gonna happen to you?
Well, see, it's just like what's the story? It was
Right.
like it's like what you remember like think you remember it was a sermon, and you remember how they said that little dog be barking on the porch while big dogs go by, and he's like rah, 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 rah. But the moment that gate is open and that big dog can get to that little dog changes the whole attitude.
And have nothing to say.
And nothing to say.
No,
And
it's
so
gonna
that's
run
what,
back in the house.
huh?
It's gonna run back in the house.
But that's what it is that when a person feels as though they can get away with something, I'm going, rah, 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 rah. But the moment you confront them, let me turn my tail and walk off.
No understand.
And I think that's one of those things to where, the way I look at it is I look at it like this: what you dish out, if you can't take it, then don't dish it out.
Mouth shut.
If you can't step out there and someone responds to you, don't play the victim to your own. I mean, it's like that's the part that blows my mind is that you want to step out here and you want to test the water, but when that water is hot and you want to pull away from it real quick, like, God dang, that water's hot. It is what it is. You should look. First of all, if you saw that steam coming out that water, you should have known better from the very beginning.
You shouldn't have messed with me because I'm gonna push you on in there.
Right. So you can't come in and like I'm gonna come in. Look, I'm gonna come in your house. I'm gonna kick your TV. I'm gonna kick your dog, and I'm gonna slap your wife. And what you gonna do, Eric? What you gonna do, Eric? I mean, seriously. I'm gonna come into your
Same night.
You're gonna first. You probably gonna look at me like I lost my mind.
Hey, you know how we do. Hey, hello. Did he just kick my TV out my wife? He did.
You ain't even get ready to get on that phone. We already know you're gonna be blazing. And so stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing. I be seeing y'all at the gun range on Facebook. Y'all locked and loaded. So stop playing. Stop playing. Mario done went and got state of the art video equipment and everything. And his house is worse than a fort right now. Look, you breathe wrong. You on the camera. So please stop playing it. Look,
the one that's kept me out of jail. You think you gonna come up in here and disrupt this piece? I got a piece for you, a piece of steel. Right. And you can take it forever.
But see, like now, think about it. You're gonna come in, and this is the thing people don't understand. You're gonna try to rob me, but then as soon as I pull out that gun, your whole attitude changed. But
your house be cleaning.
I mean, but that's the thing that we're living in a society that they want to dish it out, but when they're held accountable, that's one of the things that word. I'm telling you, that's a powerful word because people are scared of that word.
Scared of it.
They are just terrified. The moment you try to hold somebody accountable, oh, I'm a victim now. Oh, he banging on his keyboard. Oh, he must have problems. He didn't get no hugs when he was growing up. I mean, but you can't limit. Hold up, time out. Once you going crazy on your keyboard, when you're losing your mind, and then turn around and made up a fake profile to get back in. So that means, so what level of bullying is that when you You get kicked out, put in your place, knocked on your butt, but you decide to get back up and try to come back in and get some more.
I was just playing.
Psych. Look, and that's what we used to say back in the day. Psych. I was just playing with you. I really want to be your friend on the playground.
You know, I was just playing. That's what I do. Ask anybody. That's just what I do. Well, that's just how I respond.
You can just how you do that with everybody else but me.
Right.
I can't control what you do to other people.
But that's one of the things that I've learned in life is anytime you hold somebody accountable for their actions now in 2025, they're either going to play the victim, or they're going to want to fight you, or they're going to do something because they don't like what you're doing to them. They don't like that feeling. So they're going to do two things. They're going to fly, or they're going to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And if they choose to fight, they're going to use everything. Doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. They're going to stand. They're going to continue to keep doing it until they feel as though they've done enough to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, or until you hold them, or until they trigger you to be reactive in a way that's not, positive
right.
of who you are, a reflection of who you are, or until somebody holds them accountable.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, you're right. People like that have gotten away with that behavior for so long.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, some of the biggest bullies are the people who claim to be so quiet. They be the
or so righteous.
Yeah, or so holy. Good grief. I mean,
that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
They'll bully you with religion too. Don't ever get that twisted. That's a whole nother set of kind of bullying people, right?
Look, I'm gonna take this.
Everybody going to hell. Look, everybody going to hell but them. Look, everybody going to hell but them. But judging is a sin too. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it.
That's a whole nother 4 hours right there.
Yeah.
But boy, I tell you.
But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is something that we have talked about bullying before. We talked about cyberbullying. We've talked about kids that when being bullied as kids. I mean, today's show is more focused on when you confront a bully, how is that bully going to respond to you? And most of the time, the response speaks volumes of who they really are. And I think that's in our society, we have to, again, hold people accountable. If someone goes out and they try to assassinate your character, are you going to stand back and let them do it?
Mm-mm.
Most of the time, don't get me wrong. No, don't get me wrong, Eric. I've heard sometimes it's just like don't give them what they're looking for.
Nope.
I hear that a lot. Where, well, you know what? They're just looking for a fight. Don't give it to them. Well, if I don't give it to them, they're gonna keep doing it.
That's right.
And I think that's the thing that I have is that when you're dealing with a bully and you don't stand up to a bully, it's like when a bully comes in, they do stuff. Don't let them keep going. Let them keep going. Look at where we at right now.
Mm-hmm.
They sat back and they let this individual who is the president of the United States. He has been the biggest bully in this world. And they said, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. They kept saying, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. They even laughed at him sometimes. And look at where we're at now. So if we don't stand up, and the thing is, when people don't stand up, that's when all hell comes. That's when we're living in a world where it's all jacked up. We live in a country that's all jacked up because we got to stand up against these bullies.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it's like, and this is the crazy thing. As I remember when Donald Trump got shot in the ear, I made a comment and, who are you to say that? Oh, that's so wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, Ed, what's your point? So then you want to come in and you want to call me a name. So then when I call you a name, now you want to play the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something about when people, I don't get it. It's like when you want to dish it, you want to go and play the victim when you get told and put in your place. And again, I'm an equal opportunity. I don't care if you're man or woman.
That's right.
You call me, I'm gonna call you one right back.
That's right.
So it's like he called me out my name. Well, in this situation, I ain't calling nothing. This is a different one. This is another situation. So my thing is this. I mean, maybe the military training taught me wrong that we should treat everybody equally.
No,
I'm just saying, it's like, if you can dish it out, then you should be able to receive it.
that's right.
But again, that's just my own little 2 cents. All right, so I guess we're at an hour and 6. What are your final thoughts?
Once again, I don't believe in saying this. Oh, their background is no. Background or no. If you do it, there's consequences to every situation. And what you have to do with a bully, instead of letting them get away with it, you address them. Then you lead them to their own devices. And once you do that, you'll see them crash and burn. But you have to address that bad behavior when it happens. And don't let it when it first happened. Like I said, you got a little sarcastic undertone. Your response gonna be sarcastic undertone. You got a jokey joke, I got one back to you. I'm not standing for it. I will not. My wife feel the same way. No, you have to. The bottom line is you have to address it. Period.
So I agree. Do everything in real time, and then that way you don't have a delayed reaction or a delayed side effect. I do think sometimes we do need to take a cooling period and step back and regather our thoughts so that we don't come out of character for someone who's trying to provoke us. But at the same time, I do agree sometimes people got to F around and find out, right?
Okay.
So, because some people don't get it until you know go and get them told on off. And I also think that we need to stop thinking just because we block somebody or cut them out, if you don't discuss with that person why you're blocking, sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not.
Right.
Judging on the value that you have with that person. So a cutoff sometimes is necessary, a conversation is sometimes necessary. Sometimes either way is not the right method. But always just be mindful of the fact to push that person back from you to let them know this is not the table you want to sit at.
Right.
You
And see,
do
to me,
not
and I
want, yeah.
think that's what triggered. I think it made it worse when I blocked her, because that's where she took it to a whole nother level. I mean,
Bingo.
it's like when I'm talking about she took it to a whole nother level. She came in just completely looking crazy, and then she went back and deleted that video because it showed how I took her out of her character. And so then from there, she went back and then she had to tell a whole bunch of lies. So it's like, your first video was on target because you was truthful. Your second video was not like, now you're playing a game to where now you want to play the victim. And I think that's one of the things where I looked back at it and I said, you know what? Did I really have to block her? No, but she wasn't trying to listen. She wasn't trying to do what was right. And I had no choice but to block her, because it's like, you're continuously, I'm telling you, you're being disrespectful, but you're not taking a moment to back off. Now, and then the thing is, and the moment is that I blocked her, and then I was going to go back and unblock her, but before I could unblock her, she done went on and made a whole video, the one with a, like, she just going crazy. So I said, no, maybe I need to keep her blocked for a little bit longer, because she's out of control. And then you come back and you try to assassinate my character. That is the part to where you can't come for somebody and miss.
Nope.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
You come for somebody and you miss. It's like one of those moments that now you don't did all this stuff and you miss, and you miss big time.
Big time.
Now
So you done showed your behind.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You don't go around just showing your behind to everybody. So why do you think you can do it with just your words? Like, you cannot do that. You cannot think that you can just do and say what you want to without any repercussions or consequences.
Nope.
And then when someone comes back for you, oh, look, I got him in his feelings. Okay, no, I think I got you in your feelings first.
Right, Tisha. Better. Right. You get what you give. So you get it. How what's that song say? Live it how you get it how you live it, whichever way, right. Check the
Mm-hmm.
business. So, it is what it is. Sometimes I say checkmate.
And
Checkmate.
that pretty much that to me is like to sit back and to see how people were responding to what she did. It was a checkmate right off the bat. I was like, I
Mhm.
at this point I don't have to do it. But I said, you know what? Just in case there's somebody out there that might think there's a little truth from what she was saying, let me just lay it
Let me get that
all out.
together. Look,
Let
let's
me lay it
diffuse this
all out.
thing. Right.
Let me
Let's
just
diffuse it.
let
But
let
that's
me
the best way. I keep telling you, you gotta confront when people, especially if you do it more than like I can. Okay, if I hear you say something about me one time, I'm cool with that. But
Second
if you're gonna take the energy to get all up on social media and record a whole video, I'm gonna have to go on and rebuttal and set everything straight because there
right,
was a lot of energy in that. You know what I mean? So it's not always that you're stooping to their level. It's
no,
making sure they don't think they own your level. Sometimes I need to remind you that you're not on my level.
right. I mean, and then you're gonna dictate and then that's the part that I said this person has lost a rabbit ass mind. You're gonna dictate what I should. Well, you need to write letters. I'm like, who writes letters in 2025? I'm like, that's when I knew something was wrong. And then you DJ for schools and you get paid. What?
And
And
good job.
it's like, so I'm like, and so I'm sitting here like, she's out there. She's not seeing that she's not connecting the dots. In her mind, she's connecting the dots, but she really
it
wasn't
sounded
connecting the
real good to herself, and herself
And
said,
dots.
so she decided to share it with the world. I'm telling you, that is the worst place to be, is delusional and a bully. But
Yeah.
most are so delusional. So that's what I would say in my ending. Don't be a delusional bully.
But that's why I said it's all said and done. I know the community saw it. The community was upset with us. They were disappointed, and I said, you know what? I'm not, and I mean this all heartedly. I'm a type of person. I'm gonna live in the truth. I'm gonna speak the truth. If I see something that's incorrect or wrong, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna do something. I don't care what it may look like. I don't, and see that's the thing is I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what people say about me. I just like I said, but if I have the moment to put you in check, to make sure you understand that if you come for me and you miss, oh, let me show you what happens now. Let me get you to understand how I'm just going to sit here and just continue to keep telling the truth to where now you don't even have a platform to stand on when it comes to talking about me. And that's what we have to do. When someone wants to build a platform against you and they want to build a platform of lies on you, it comes a point in time to where you have to put them in their place.
you got to.
You have to. It's like it's no longer like, oh, just let it go. No, there's no letting it go. Because when someone comes after your character, it's just like, what happens if that what she said hurt my business?
Right.
Because what she did was slander.
Yes.
What she did was straight up slanted. But what if? And I mean, I'm not gonna press no charges or take someone to court over what she said or did. I understood she was in her feelings. I get it. But when you go out and you do something where you can technically hurt someone's reputation, and I'm supposed to just walk away from that?
Nope.
But that's what people were. Oh, we know who she is. You ain't got to explain. Well, but no, that's not how it is. What about someone in Atlanta that's watching my show? What about somebody that's in Virginia that's watching my show? What about these other people that are followers? They're not in North Carolina. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Scorpions, we're breed different. We're a different breed. We're a different breed. Uh, but that's one of those things that people need to understand is that when you want to bully somebody and that bully stands up against you, you can't play the victim. You think you can play the victim, but in reality you really can't. You don't have a ground to stand on.
Nope.
You was the villain. But
I said we all are the villain in somebody's story at some
Right,
point.
we're always, and that's that. And me, I don't look. I
I
don't
don't
mind
even
being the
care.
villain.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, I don't even care. Like I said, if I'm the villain, so be it.
Yep.
But you're gonna look. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn today.
Yep.
Learn the thing.
Yep. And then I want to say this too: be careful about internalizing all of this negativity. If you notice, a lot of bullies have a lot of health problems.
Yeah.
Either they always got headaches, stomach aches, something's always wrong with them. And you have to be very careful with the energy that you soak back into your body. And then you want to be careful that that person is not projecting that negative energy and unhealthy mindset stuff onto you as well. So that's the other reason I shut it down in real time, because I don't even want you putting your mouth on me
Nope.
inappropriately. Like
Nope.
you said, slander or defamation of character. So
Right.
you're not going to be able to do that, you know.
And I think there comes a point in time that you have to. Is like me, mental peace is like that is the hardest thing to keep sometimes when you put yourself in a position to where you're doing things in a community. When you're working with people, I ain't gonna say community. When you're working with a lot of people,
Yes.
that your mental peace, you have to fight harder to maintain it. And I think that is one of those things to where you can't take this stuff and let it get to you to the point where it's going to eat you up alive. That's why for me, it's like, let me take a moment to find something to stop me from doing what I really want to do. Let me go look at her past. Let me go look at who she is. There's got to be something to justify why she is what she is. And once I found that justification, then it's easy for me to say, okay, I get it now. I understand. Because that's the type of like my type of person is before I come and destroy you, before I completely just annihilate you. I mean, and again, I don't mean no killing nobody. I'm just talking about in general. I want to know who you are first, because that's the type of person I don't want to come in and go after somebody, and then I find out that you know that all these bad things that happen in your life that kind of that shows right. I'm the type of person I'm gonna show you sympathy, and I'm gonna walk away from it and be done with it.
Yep. And that's a mic drop. Look,
So now I'm free.
you made it through the show without getting bullied.
Ah!
Look,
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Um, again, this is just Let's Talk. We're going to talk about stuff. You know, if you disagree, you agree. You know what? You can speak your piece. We'll read it. We'll give our 2 cents, and then we'll keep on moving.
Yes.
But y'all have a great night. This was again another great show, and we'll see y'all next time.
Have a good evening.